Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Vance Williams out of, Dallas right now, Dallas, Texas. Welcome to my morning Forex trading show. So I am in Texas, and I'm working with limited equipment. So yesterday it worked out okay. I know that sounds a little different, but gratefully things are working, and hopefully it'll work great today too. Um, it is a holiday. The stock exchange is open, but the banks are closed, and it's a federal holiday. So we're not expecting that much, and I'll talk about what we can expect a little bit. I do want to show you. Um, if you're watching, let's see. I'm looking for this screen. Let me see. I'm going to switch over to this. Oh, that's not it. I wonder if that's. Let me see if it's showing. Yeah, it's showing you guys. I have very limited equipment, so I'm not able to kind of move around the way I normally do. But this is forexartofwar.com. For those of you looking for my books, they're right here on the top right. You can get 8 things they don't tell Forex traders, and the first battle right here, free of charge. We've downloaded tens of thousands of them. People enjoy them, but if you're looking for those, they're right there. And as far as the mailing list, I may be sending out an email once a week now. Most importantly, when you click to watch the show, make sure when the show runs down, like on the bottom left of the screen, you'll see be part of the conversation. When you click on that, it'll actually give you some links so you can participate more in the show. Let me go back and flip it back to the chart. See, talking about the big banks, they're pretty quiet today. The bank that keeps losing also went in the other direction again. I'm not going to name any names. Just continue to follow that, scratching my head, thinking about calling over there and offering to help a little bit. But anyway, maybe they got their own secret strategy we don't know about. But anyway, some of the like one of the top 3 producers in terms of results, I noticed that they they're managing, they're tightening up their positions, what have you. So, it's kind of typical to what we might see on a holiday. So not a lot of happening there, and, that's kind of obvious, it's a holiday and what have you. So it's kind of to be expected. So not a lot to report there. I do want to comment that what I do say about the big bank trades, and I'm not specifying who's doing what, but it's JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Credit Suisse, Danske, these types of banks. I just want to clearly say that I can't confirm that the information I'm getting is correct. So, but I really find it interesting, and I'm seeing a lot of patterns that are interesting, and I see how they're trading differently, which is also interesting to me. And so I think it will lend some value to what we're doing. Also, just keep in mind that what I do on this show is for your educational purposes only. Market conditions. Okay, this is current market conditions, like it's a holiday, high impact data, fundamental story. So we already know about holiday and things like that. But I think the fundamental story has not changed. We talked yesterday about how the jobs data that came out on Friday was a little less than was expected, but nothing, not a game changer. And we talked about how tomorrow, it's on Wednesday, Carney out of the UK is going to have an opportunity to manipulate this story to affect our story. So we'll talk tomorrow morning on the show about what the expectation is. It might actually come out beforehand, but anyway, I might post something later on that. But basically, you want to gear up for the real week to start tomorrow. We've had the weekend non-farm, a day following non-farm, and now today a U.S. bank holiday. So I think traders and investors are going to really be ready to go tomorrow. So look for some volatility tomorrow. And if I see anything that provides clues, I'll definitely publish something on forexartofwar.com, maybe just a page and a few thoughts. Oh, I tell you what to look for. Look for my high impact data post tonight. I will post my thoughts there. So when you click on it, you'll see those. Okay, so let's take a look at current price. And keep in mind, it is a holiday. I'm just kind of, showing up. People are wondering, how come you're doing this on a holiday? I'm kind of down here in Texas on a matter of great importance, and so I don't have all my equipment. I don't have my usual things, and so I just thought, probably I just want some consistency wherever I can get it. So I just decided to do the show, meet with the team, do everything I normally do, just to maybe keep that sense of normalcy. Okay, so let's take a look at price. This is the pound 30-minute chart, and we can see that the balance of money, we know that long term the sentiment is to the downside, not as much as it was for the pound dollar. Remember, this is Carney speaking tomorrow. But the balance of money so far this week is to the downside. And, basically, you can see big move down, good correction up, another move down, another move up. You'll notice that everything's going to 50%. 50% up, 50% of that down, and 50% of that back up. So it's just kind of working its way down to less and less and less into the middle, right? The middle ground. And you'll see that all the time. It's good to be able to see that price story of it moving towards the middle ground. In terms of a potential trade, if something exciting happens this morning, look for a move below 58.38. So that's, again, key levels are those important levels where if the sellers want to push this down, they're going to run into about an equal amount of buyers right here at this mark, and so they've got to have more sell orders than these buyers here to push through here. And when that happens, you got a little room to move down to 58.04. And there's going to be some buyers parked out here. They're going to be parked between 58.04 and 57.89. So there'll be a bunch of buy orders sitting in there. And again, the sellers will need the power to go through there. So if you're in a position, you've got an okay profit, you want to know that when you get into this area, there's going to be some buy orders there. So it's part of the risk management. Okay, so let's pop over to the euro. Oh, and on the top side, 59.14. I realize it's a little bit of a ways up there, but this has to get crossed over, has to turn over. It doesn't leave you much room. So if you're looking at possibly trading the top side, I'd look for a move above 59.14. Everything is currently pointing, I'm not saying like 90%, but I'm saying that more than half of the information is pointing towards a further move to the downside. But Carney could surprise us. All right, in the euro, pretty simple. You got 2,400 on the bottom and 2,500 on the top. And so if these cross over and you've got room to get in here, this type of situation can be a little tricky because, you're going to get sell orders in this area. If it's very bullish, for example, solid, white candles going up, mine are white, going up here. When it gets in this area, they're going to push back. But if it's solid strength, it'll probably push a little higher. So this really involves knowing the fundamental story, knowing the context of the charts, knowing the context of the current movement. But it really does tell you the whole story of, yeah, this is likely to push back if it gets in this area. But if it's really strong, it's likely to go forward. Now, if we stair step all the way to here and it hits here and stalls, it's more likely to push down farther. This is not rocket science. It really isn't. But I'll comment on that as we see it move. But the number here is 2,400 for that key level, and then we've got another important number. I'll mark it right here. Pretty obvious as well. I can get that highlighted and grab it. Right. Well, we'll just call it there. 123.69. So there's a little bit of room, but you don't have to worry about this area right here because this was just hyper volatility speculation for non-farm. So you don't have to worry about that candle right there. You don't have to worry about that wicker tail. But this is the key level right here, 123.69. So in that area, there will be a little bit of buying interest, but they'll be cautious. The buyers will be cautious because they know the long-term sentiment is for that push to the 122.50 medium term, I should say. So let me see. Do I have anything else? Should we take a quick look at the Kiwi? Kiwi, kind of in the middle. You guys can see the key levels. You might be at a crossover to move up here before you run into some sell orders up here, and then you've got a price. I can just move this down here at the bottom, right there, 77.14. So there's a little uncertainty, and a little uncertainty creates bigger ranges, and a lot of uncertainty then turns that into smaller ranges. But eventually, it will break. And if you follow the logic that I share, you're going to have a good handle on what's likely to happen. All right, so let's take a look at the Australian dollar real quick. Very much the same. So same thing as the Kiwi. So you'd put a mark about right there on the price. That's what you'd be looking at the downside. And I wouldn't even consider anything unless it got above 86.78. If you're looking at trading this medium term, in other words, moving with the bigger banks, they're going to be waiting for that right moment. They haven't made their move yet. They're probably going to wait till Carney. They might make a judgment that if Carney's, neutral, they're going to do X. Positive, they're going to do X. Whatever. Anyway, it is a holiday, and if you're joining me, I want to thank you for tuning in and sharing what little I had to share. I thought about doing a little segment on psychology, and you know what? Let me just let me suggest a book for you guys. I mean, there's all kinds of books on trading psychology, but I'll tell you one of the most powerful books that I've read and implemented in my own life that will help you with your Forex trading is a book called The Four Agreements. And they're all four agreements are very important, but pay attention specifically to number 2, no assumptions. And I want you to also make a note that when we say no assumptions, you know what? I think I got to sneeze. When we're talking about no assumptions, we're also talking about no expectations. It's very important that you give up expectations in Forex trading. 0 expectations. Now, me personally, I've done the thinking that I needed to do. In other words, I've thought about in my ordinary life, is there any time that an expectation has any value for me? And guys, I've talked with a lot of great minds. We've decided, no, we can't find one good reason for it. So expectations are bad code in your mind, in my opinion. But you get to decide that for yourself. But I recommend you check out that book, The Four Agreements, and it'll help you not just in your Forex trading, but it'll make life easier and greater too. So tomorrow's shaping up to be the big day, guys. Tomorrow, Carney's going to probably come out pretty early with some comments. Like I said, look for my high-impact data post later on this evening here in U.S. time. I'm going to write something up. I'm going to look and see if we can get any clues. Members, I'm going to see you guys coming up at 9:30 a.m. Eastern when the stock exchange opens. We'll get together for a little while, even for those of you who aren't out playing with your kids. Again, forexartofwar.com. On the top right, you can get my books. You'll enjoy them, and also write to me anytime if you have a question. You guys have a great one, and thank you.